All right, guys. Welcome to Let's Get Hype as Fuck. Tonight we have Norman Watkins coming on. We're just going to give a few minutes for some people to jump in. In the comments, I am sharing a link. If you guys wouldn't mind going and clicking on that link real quick so that we can see who's commenting, that would be awesome. All right. One more. Sorry, guys. This thing is streaming everywhere, so I gotta make sure that I share the link in every single page. Dang it. All right. Okay. So, like I said at the beginning of the show, tonight we're going to talk to one of my biggest supporters, my fans, and my family, um, Norman Watkins, aka Norman Bates, if you piss him off. So, let's go ahead and jump right in here. Mr. Norman, how's it going, bro?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Sweet. Okay, so let's start with how old are you?
I'm 33.
Where are you from?
I was born in Grove, Oklahoma, but grew up around Bonita, Northeast Oklahoma area.
All right. And is that where you currently are living?
No, I'm in Kansas now. Moving closer to you. So
that's right.
Little
That is
little.
ultimately the plan for those who don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
So I mean, I know you got a long story with a lot to say, man. So you kind of tell me, where do you want to start? Where do you want to jump in?
Man, I started when I was start young. The reason why I chose this life and the reason why I ended up where I'm at today and why I'm mentally the way I am. I wouldn't call it a character defect, but I would call it a one-up because it allows me to overcome a lot of obstacles that's placed before me that no one else could maybe handle or decipher. So when I was a kid, I know that everyone has a story, everyone has a childhood. Some are better than most. My childhood was a little hard. It was hard for me to fit in and cope with people. Uh, I know that growing up as a kid, we was in poverty, and now on my dad's side of the family, they was off, you know what I mean? They was set. And on my mama's side of the family now, they weren't so well. It was hard for them to get by, and still it's that way. But things has changed, and a lot of my family has overcome that thing in life, fear, and now I see them flourishing and being happy with what they have. And I noticed that it doesn't take a lot of money. It doesn't take a lot of things when it comes to being happy. What it takes is having the right, the surroundings, the people that care about you. Something that it's not a materialistic thing. Being happy is something that coincides with love. And excuse me, we children running around and stuff. But when I was a young kid, I was surrounded with love, but the proper guidance wasn't there. Uh, I'm not putting everyone's business out there because I respect my mom and I respect my dad, and rest in peace, my father. Uh, but they was addicts, and it was hard. It was hard to cope because growing up, it was always party, 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 party. Seeing my parents going, my mom working two jobs, my dad working jobs sometimes. Sometimes my dad, he was a full blown alcoholic. So coping with things in life. I remember waking up early in the morning sometimes and pouring this bottle out, and happened to come home and deal with the repercussions of that. And I committed suicide at a young age. Tried to. Uh, a lot of things happened when in between then that caused me to try to commit suicide. And I remember while trying to commit suicide, I had fear of committing it, but I didn't tell nobody, And that was the biggest fear of knowing that I was about to leave and no one knowing that I was about to do it. And I was alone. I was afraid. And but I did it anyways. I didn't succeed. I woke up on the ground. Uh, I coped with it. No one messed with me for a long time. My dad was he was lost in himself. So when growing up, dealing with these things that I had to see my parents, these are the strong ones that I loved. These are the ones that I looked up to. And I realized that sometimes my dad's problem and my mom's problem really wasn't the problem that was based upon inside the household. It was what was going on around them, who they surrounded themselves by, how they passed their time with what they did during the time. And it kind of led me to escaping home through school. Then I didn't play a lot of sports growing up, but when I did my best, and I do believe I was good at it. And I had plenty of opportunities, and not just in Benita, but I really didn't have no opportunity there because that's where everyone knew me as. That's where everyone kind of wanted to judge me, and I didn't fit in. And I seemed to me, it seemed like it's not that I was a troublemaker. It's that I got picked on a lot. So when getting picked on, I was a bully to the bullies, and that put a bad reputation on me. And I kept getting sent to the principal's office, and my dad, he didn't know how to deal with it. And now, mind you not, my dad, he played he played major ball, and he didn't play very long major league baseball, but he was registered and all that. And but he went from ninth grade into college. He didn't graduate. Went from college to AA to AAA, and so forth. Well, I lived in my dad's shadow, and growing up as a kid, living in my dad's shadow, knowing that I didn't really understand why he did what he did, but I didn't understand personally why it was took out on my mom or me and my sister Chantilly. And I realized in life that my dad was weak. He was strong, but he was weak because everybody that loved him growing up, and I'll say this, everybody that loved him growing up is the people that robbed him and robbed me of him and my children. And the reason why I'm where I'm at right now, I'm just now coming out of that. But these people took my dad from my family. Not only did they take the sustenance, but they replaced the sustenance with the substance, and they created a demon, a monster. And my dad would come home, and knowing that he would go over there around these people that supported him and supposed to have loved him, but they robbed him of his dreams because all they did was just feed him with these substance, and then they would send him home. Well, the hand that fed the apple to him is the very mouth that bit him when he tried to bite the apple that the hand fed him. And I knew things like this was going to happen in the future. I knew that through certain substances, when it comes to like hard drugs, and if it's not prescribed and if it's not anything like that, if it has nothing of like alcohol or very very mind altering substance where you have no control. Hey, Bubba's. And when you go through those things and you see these things as a kid, you you don't understand that it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And growing up, I blamed myself. But my dad would come home, these things would happen, and and it was just progressively getting worse. I would go to school when I was in eighth grade. I probably went to school in eighth grade maybe 2 weeks at one time, and excuse me, over here. And the thing is it wasn't my fault. I would wake up, and the dude that did what he did to my father would be in there getting his friends up, and it would be 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock at night, and I would be in eighth grade, 14, 15 years old, partying with grown folk while doing hard substances, and I was being lured into the wrong lifestyle. So I seen my dad partaking in these things, and I wanted to be just like him. And then I was introduced when and during these times of hardships and stuff to Tech Nine in like 94 and 95. And I knew who he was, but I really didn't know who he was. I was kind of distraught about the industry of what was rap music, because I grew up on country and rock. And all of a sudden Tupac come out, and when Tupac come out, he uh he uh he influenced me. I read a book when I was in fifth grade, and it had the Concrete Rose in it, and I felt like that God had sent something to me in a form of a book that I could relate to, because I've had so many people come to school and tell me so many things, and oh, here's Bookie, tell me so many things that I'm a good person and that I'm rare and that I'm this and I'm that, but I never understood why they called me Dumbo. I never understood why they called me Four Eyes. I never understood why they called me all these names, but I understood then that we have to be different in order for us to stand out. In order for us to stand out and be different, we have to go through hardships. That's why I know I'm ready for my music. That's why I know I'm ready to tour. That's why I know I'm ready to sit down and go straight to the booth or go whatever, because the booth for me is the revealing of truth. That's what the booth is. And I know that when you can get behind the microphone and you can speak what is on your heart, on your soul, and on your mind, and through the experiences, and you can affect, you can affect and give effects to them people and influence them by purifying them people to make them feel righteous inside and whole. That's what I'm after. And I was introduced to this where the concrete rose, and then I went to my aunt Juana, and I told my auntie, I was like, man, who is this? And she goes, oh, I listened to him, and I was introduced to Tupac, and then Eminem come in, and then next thing you know, Mitch Bed was coming out, and then all the stuff that just followed after that, and then I'm a player, and then Constantly Dirty, and then all of a sudden, Chris Calico come into the picture, and that's what really grabbed me when Tech Nine was using Chris Calico, went on the demos on I think it was Absolute Power. Now I could be wrong, or it could be the Angelica tour where they have all the demos and it had the DVDs with it and stuff. I was sitting there watching it. How Tech Nine was down there. I think it was maybe Absolute Power. Ain't no way you're about to stop this sickness from this deepest, darkest possible misery, psychopath, schizo, and I think Chris Calico went down into the booth and was telling him, hey, no, this how blah, blah, blah. Maybe it was the Killer Clowns, but you know what I mean. I don't know, but I just seen the way Chris Calico was critiquing him, and I looked at my cousin, and I'm like, I want to be a rapper. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting up in the speakers every time Chris Calico's getting ghetto love, and I'm sitting there bobbing my head, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I got people looking at me, why are you doing that? Yeah, why are you doing that? Why? Because I'm dancing to the fluence of the universal language. They was speaking to me. They was healing me then. Little did I know that it was going to be a sweet reunion. That I was going to have to do a lot of things in order for me to get out of that lifestyle that I was doing. But the thing is that regardless of what I was doing, I was listening to the right people, and I was listening to and that's what led me here. God told me then that these people are going to be the ones that heal you. You're going to go through some things. 7 years.
You're moving too far away from your signal.
And I was listening too low. Not then, but this.
Um, it looks like we're both having some technical difficulties. Actually, I'm having poor internet quality. As you can see, Norman wandered, I think, out of service. I'll give it a minute. If you are watching, let me know if the video is playing all right on your end. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Is it kind of glitching out at all? Yeah, I think I'm streaming okay now, but we still don't have anything from North. So, quite sure. I guess. Well, yeah, it seems like everybody can see and hear it fine. I would love to drop the YouTube link for you guys, but my comments don't come through. Let me see. I have no idea.
Can you see what the link is and I can type it?
Well, I don't know if Norman is coming back. We've lost contact. ED phone home. Oh. Yeah. So what are my watchers doing while we wait and just a couple more minutes and see if Mr. Norman can come back? Come back, Norman. What's for dinner? What are we smoking on? What's new, you guys?
Do I have to resend him a link?
No. No one in my comments is anything?
We're all watching you.
You're all watching me. All right, what would you like me to do? Well, I'm sorry, guys. What'll probably happen is we will either try to reschedule this show or I will do a video with him one-on-one and end up posting it for you guys. But either way, we will get Norman's story out there for you because I know there were a bunch of you who were interested to find out who the man behind all them crazy comments are. So look for future episodes with Norman. And on the topic, please let me know in the comments if you're watching this or you're replaying at any time who you would like to see on the show. Go ahead and tag them. If you want to be on the show, I cover more than music. We can talk about your small business, no matter what it is. Maybe you're a artist, visual artist like myself and not a music artist. Or maybe you I don't know, maybe you're like into the witchcraft stuff like my honey is, and I don't care. We can talk about ghosts and witchy stuff and haunty junk. I don't care. Maybe one of you guys can turn me into a believer because I'm not. Well, definitely a witch and ghost episode for sure. But yes, I think we're gonna call this a wrap for right now. And like I said, if you're watching, please tag who you want to see in one of our future episodes. Thanks for watching, you guys. As always, like and subscribe. Check out some of our other podcast videos. We do have 3 up with a bunch of fuckers you guys know. And already future episodes already lined up. So for our next one, we're going to have Lincoln Park Mike. and a special episode for myself, the 303 episode, Colorado show. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you later.